Hello everyone, welcome back to Pix or Tea Astrology. I'm your host Pix, and in this video I'll be talking about what to expect for the new moon coming up on March 10th. First I'll be talking about its vibes overall, and then I'll go into horoscopes for each of the signs and talking about the do's and don'ts for this moon for each of you. I apologize for my voice in advance and my face in advance. I'm getting over a sickness, some sort of cold. It's been lingering, it's a lingerer, so forgive me please. And let's just hop right into it then. The new moon exacts at 20 degrees Pisces on March 10th at 1 a.m. Pacific time. So the early morning, late night of March 9th. A new moon in general, as we all know, is a time of new beginnings. It's a fresh start. It's a reset for the month. It's a time where you can metaphorically plant a seed in the darkness and set some intentions and prepare for new growth over the next 6 months. It's associated with initiating projects, initiating ideas, and embracing new opportunities, essentially. What's interesting about this new moon specifically is that it's happening right after Mercury enters Aries and while Mars is squaring Uranus. So the new beginning is going to be flavored with the vibes of the other astrology weather going on at the same time. So I want to talk about that as well. And we're going to start with talking about Mercury moving into Aries. And Mercury is going to be in Aries for until the end of April, essentially, which is a very long time. And it's due to Mercury stationing retrograde on April 1st. So it'll be in Aries for a long time. And Mercury in Aries has pros and cons, as everything does. It brings direct communication. It brings innovative thinking. It brings impulsiveness and impatience. So let's be a little bit more specific though. Like Mercury in Aries has a very direct and straightforward way of communicating, sometimes very blunt. Mercury here doesn't really dance around subjects. It gets straight to the point, and it makes conversations refreshingly candid, in my opinion, and also efficient, which as a Mercury in Taurus, I really appreciate. And the pioneering spirit of Aries can definitely lead to original and quick, like problem-solving type of approaches, which is seen as innovative because it's kind of like being first, pioneering, first to lead the way, first to say the thing, first to have the idea. So it's innovative, it's impulsive though, spontaneous firecracker type of conversations. It can lead to speaking or thinking without consequences. Not that we think with consequences, but you know what I mean. It's blunt, it's tactless, and you can notice that people having conversations or making remarks that might unintentionally offend or start conflicts of some kind. And it can foster an impatient streak as well, especially when it comes to communicating and mental processes, like, a restless race car driver just revving the engine, eager to speed off at any hint of a green light, it's ready to go. So this can manifest as like frustration with slower paced conversations or processes. I'm sure people with Mercury in Aries probably can't stand me because I'm such a slow talker. Don't forget, you can speed me up. You can speed up the audio of videos. But anyway, there's a tendency to interrupt with Mercury in Aries and maybe push for quicker resolutions before all aspects have been considered. It's impatient, it's impulsive, but also it's direct and it's no bullshit. So we like Mercury in Aries. We gotta have thick skin for it though. So at the same time, like I said, Mars is squaring Uranus, and this brings electric independence vibes and like sudden shifts and urgency and just friction and frustration in certain parts of our lives is possible. Feeling like you can't do something anymore and you need to break out of it. It's a vibe that is all about a fierce drive for autonomy, the feeling of wanting to break free from constraints, pushing you to assert your individuality, sudden and disruptive ways of doing so also. And so expect the unexpected with this sort of vibe this week overall. This is a transit that can bring sudden changes and sudden events that feel like they come out of nowhere. And there's a push along with the Mercury in Aries for Mars and Uranus to fix problems quickly, especially involving machinery or technology. This is a vibe that looks like a mad scientist on overdrive, like hurrying to patch or be working on innovative solutions, severely under pressure though, like not comfortable. So things that you do under this type of vibe are often more reflexive. You're not really thinking before you act with this sort of weather happening in the background. So knee-jerk reactions are totally possible. And the square can kind of bring up this tension of wanting to move forward, but encountering obstacles. So if you feel like this is happening to you, just know you're not alone. It can bring discord. It can bring frustration. So be patient, essentially. With the weather that's going on at the same time as this new moon, we want to be patient. What's nice is the new moon is closely sextile Uranus in Taurus. So we do have a nice aspect touching that square. So unexpected sparks, like Uranus brings unexpected energy. And so when it's sextile the new moon, you might find sudden flashes of insight or, again, unexpected changes popping up as possible. But like a little jolt of electricity, your regular routine getting zapped. So again, innovative ideas with this new moon sextile Uranus. And again, flexibility is key here. The more that you can roll with the punches of this weather and adapt to changes, the better, and the easier things will be. And the more you'll find that the universe is working with you rather than against you. You just got to work with the universe also. It goes both ways. So be flexible if plans are changing, because they could lead to exciting opportunities. This is new beginning energy with the new moon. It's also makes it a little bit more social and brings in technology and progress and progression, non-traditional type vibes, unconventional vibes. So the sextile to Uranus brings in embracing new, expecting the unexpected, and finding innovative solutions to old problems. But we can't ignore that the new moon is also co-present with Saturn and Neptune, smack dab in the middle. So this is also a new moon that is showing us what the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Pisces, which is happening next year, will be doing for us. It's kind of a big deal. Astrologers have been looking at that. So this new moon will give us a little hint. And so we're bringing in Saturn vibes and Neptune vibes with this new moon a little bit. They're like 7 degrees away or something like that. So not super close, but still there enough to influence things. So we're talking emotional reflection, a dose of realism, the thoughts of dreams versus reality, subtle shifts with boundaries. Both Neptune and Saturn have boundary conversations to be had. So it might be time to reflect on some of those boundaries and which ones need clearer lines and what you might be letting go too much. Responsibility, of course, discipline, and having visionary ideas grounded in reality. I think that that's something exciting to look forward to with this. Neptune's imaginative influence with Saturn's practicality can lead to innovative yet achievable goals. So it's an excellent time for grounding your dreams in reality and making steps towards turning them into tangible outcomes. And I want to talk about the ruler of the new moon also, which is Jupiter in Taurus, who is still sextile Saturn in Pisces. So with Jupiter here as the ruler of the new moon, this new beginning and this growth is grounded with Jupiter in Taurus, tangible and steady. And it emphasizes the importance of patience and persistence and nurturing your goals and aspirations over a long period of time. It's about valuing that slow build up to success. And opportunity meeting structure could be a theme that comes up with this new moon, thanks to it being ruled by Jupiter. The sextile it has to Saturn really brings a harmonious blend of growth and opportunities and solid structure. So also it's funny, optimism versus realism, or the rose-colored glasses versus the gray-colored glasses. Say that 5 times fast. We have Neptune and Jupiter seeing the positive, and we have Saturn pulling in the reins and being probably a little bit too cynical, but they balance each other out. So optimism versus realism can come up, or learning and maturing too. Wisdom comes up with this type of thing too. And at the same time, Mercury in Aries is also sextile Pluto in Aquarius. So you can expect conversations or thoughts to delve a bit deeper than usual. There's a natural drive for uncovering truths when Mercury and Pluto are in aspect. They're both the investigators. They're both the sleuths. So there's a drive towards uncovering things and exploring and exposing things. And it also, this aspect can sharpen your mental state in general. It gives you insight into situations and people. That could be intuitive. It could just be like really keen observations. And persuasion is powered up too with this aspect. Communication skills from Mercury blended with Pluto's intensity or manipulation or those kind of vibes. Control or power dynamics means that people or you can be very convincing. So keep that in mind with the new moon. You can use it to your advantage or be aware of that in general. But yeah, transformative ideas could be emerging with all these innovative vibes coming up, influenced by that depth from Pluto. So that's kind of the overview for the new moon. And it's going to be most potent for those of you with planets or points around 20 degrees of the mutable signs. So that's Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces, especially the risings. But any planets or points, you'll be noticing this new moon, this new beginning. And it also helps know, which planets or points are in your Pisces house in general, not necessarily around 20 degrees, but because it will significantly flavor the new moon also. So that's what we have for the overview. Find your rising sign in the timestamps and let's get started. Hi Aries rising. This new moon in Pisces on March 10th is happening in your 12th whole sign house. So this sparks a moment to kickstart some deep inner digging and fresh starts in parts of your life that are usually kept under wraps. It is the 12th house after all, but I'm a 12th houser. I like the 12th house. Let's get into what you can expect from this new moon. You can expect an inner awakening of some kind, and hidden insights to be revealed, and shifts in the way that you experience solitude and loneliness, or just alone time in general. And there's some spiritual stirrings that are possible as well. Dream dynamics could come up, subtle energy shifts, like the veil will be very thin during this new moon for y'all. Also, emotional release is possible, and just navigating the unseen in general. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into some of these, and then I'll get into the do's and don'ts. So this is a lunation that could stir a deeper and maybe spiritual awakening, or a newfound interest in exploring some sort of subconscious aspect of yourself. And it's a new moon that invites introspection and rest and alone time. And the 12th house tends to, when it gets activated, it reveals the unseen or it buries something so that it is not seen. So again, uncovering some sort of a hidden aspect of your life is possible, or hidden aspect of your psyche. It doesn't have to be something physical in front of you, but it could be internal. Secrets or previously obscured truths might come to light with this new moon, offering clarity and understanding. And you might again find changes in how you experience retreating or solitude. It's a lunation that could bring a different perspective on alone time. Maybe it makes you feel like it's more profound or more meaningful, or like you spend too much time alone on the other side of things. And again, there's spiritual vibes to this. There's a noticeable spiritual pull is possible, or mystical pull. There could be an increased interest in intangible or exploring belief systems or magic or just, stuff on the other side of the veil. And your dreams might become a lot more vivid, more significant, or, serve as a key to unlock some sort of insight. And there is Uranus here sextiling, so there could be some subtle or unexpected shifts in your energy and mood where you can't really see where it's coming from, particularly when you are alone or when you are in a quiet moment of meditation or reflection. And the co-presence of Saturn and Neptune kind of bring out this vibe that suppressed emotions might come up. And this brings opportunities, to cleanse our emotions and to heal things that need to be healed. So don't be surprised if you're feeling your fifis. And again, the veil is thin. So navigating the unseen is a big part of this new moon. You might become a lot more aware of the undercurrents in your life, including the roles of hidden influences or hidden enemies, which could be not necessarily people, but just things that challenge you. But it urges a very cautious approach to the unseen forces and motivations. So if there are issues with enemies or the veil being too thin for you, be cautious. Don't engage if you don't want to engage. This is kind of bringing us into the do's and don'ts. But the other big thing about this new moon is that your intuition is going to be so loud. You're not going to be able to ignore your intuition. So keep that in mind. Follow your intuition. And let's talk about the do's, okay? Pay attention to your intuition, 100%. Spend time alone, reflect, meditate, carve out some quiet time, quiet space for yourself, whether that's just a corner of your house that is going to be your spot that you don't share with anybody else, or maybe outside, but use a spot and some time there to just reflect. That could be very beneficial with this new moon. Take some time to reflect, connect to your body. During 12th house stuff, it's really easy to dissociate. It's really easy to not connect to your body. So connecting to your body is a do. And then also, I do recommend traveling, especially if you're going to travel solo or you're going on a retreat of some kind. That would be perfectly astrologer good for this. And I also recommend doing a new moon manifestation ritual. I always recommend, my easiest thing that I like to do is lighting a candle with the intention to manifest something related to 12th house things. So that could be, setting intentions for just growing, personal growth, healing, spiritual exploration, spiritual connection, that sort of thing. The don'ts. I don't recommend working too hard during this new moon. It's a time that calls for slowing down, tuning in, not ramping up. So ease off the gas pedal with work if possible. Give yourself permission to rest. I also recommend not planning too much. Besides overworking yourself, don't completely pack your schedule. Overbooking yourself can make this a little bit less pleasant and will distract you from the insights that you are looking for here. And again, do not ignore your intuition. Do not ignore your body's signals with this new moon either. This is a really strong gut feeling kind of vibe. So if you need to make a decision, if you've been contemplating something, this is a really good new moon to sit and meditate and most likely come up with an answer. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Taurus rising, this new moon on March 10th in Pisces is happening in your 11th whole sign house, and you're getting an invitation to start fresh or to energize your connections with your allies, your communities, your networks, and it opens new doors to social opportunities and collaborations. So what are some specific things you can expect with this new moon? We have some sort of community connections refresh or reset. We have innovative group dynamics. We have a deeper bond with your besties, your allies, your networks. We have an expanded social vision. And we have transformative conversations happening in groups. And we have community shifts that are unexpected, possibly. And then possibly a reevaluation of your social goals or a reset with your social goals. It's a very social new moon for y'all. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. There could be new energy or a shift in your social circles, with your networks, or in a group that you're involved with. And it could bring new allies into your orbit or revitalize existing connections. Also, this Uranus sextile and the Uranus square to Mars may introduce innovative ideas or unconventional projects within your groups, within your networks, within a collaboration of some kind. And the influence of Saturn and Neptune might deepen your connections with the community. You know, it fosters more of a meaningful and possibly even spiritual aligned relationships with colleagues and allies. So that's a nice little thing for it too. But remember, Saturn brings in kind of more of a serious, somber, specific, controlling type of vibe. And Neptune dissolves boundaries and wants us all to meld together as one. So Saturn separates and Neptune wants us all together. And so it's interesting having a moon right in between there, giving us some balance. You'll probably see a bit of both there. And Mercury sextile to Pluto could suggest that any conversations happening within groups could take a more profound, transformative tone, and also maybe lead to some sort of significant shift in the group objectives or your role within these objectives and collectives. But be prepared for sudden changes, of course, with Uranus's square. Be prepared for needing patience. Be prepared for possible surprises in your social networks, which could alter, some sort of a landscape with your community. So just be expecting the unexpected with this new moon. And it could initiate or prompt some sort of reevaluation of your aspirations related to your social network. So if you're involved in activism or you have broader humanitarian goals, it highlights what truly resonates with your values. So that could be something that you're reflecting on with this new moon as well. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts I have. I do recommend being social. This is a very social butterfly new moon. Engage with your community, engage with your social circle. New connections that you make now could have a significant lasting impact. And I do recommend posting on social media. Use your platforms to share your innovative insights or support causes that matter to you. I also recommend, if you have some sort of technology project you're working on, to explore those solutions. It's a great time to explore or invest in technology, especially if it could benefit your community or your social networks or your job, like a new app, a new platform, some sort of tool. Your efforts there could lead to very beneficial solutions. And I do recommend doing a new moon manifestation ritual. So I recommend lighting a candle with the intention to manifest something related to your 11th house. So manifest a group, a collab, a person, manifest an ally, or manifest something related to your long-term aspirations and visualize how you can contribute to and grow with your network in tangible ways. And the don'ts I have for this new moon, I don't recommend hiding. Do not hide from your community. This is not the time to retreat from your social life. This is a time where your presence and your contributions are needed. So stepping back could mean missing out on some FOMO. Could be missing out on, you're going to have FOMO. So do not hide from being seen in your community. Also, this is not a time to dream small. This is a time to dream big. When you have a new moon in your 11th house of dreams and aspirations, you can shoot for the stars, okay? And do not ignore your need for adaptability and patience and flexibility this week during this new moon. This is some dynamic energy happening with Mars square Uranus, so resist the urge to stick rigidly to plans or ideas the way that fixed signs usually do. So don't be inflexible. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Gemini rising, this new moon in Pisces on March 10th is happening in your 10th whole sign house, and this typically marks a time for new beginnings related to your career, or shifts related to your career, your public image, or just your overall overarching life. It's a time that offers opportunities to redefine your path and how you're perceived in your life and in your field. It's kind of a serious, not serious, but like a significant new moon for y'all as a mutable rising sign. So let's talk about what you can expect from this new moon. You can expect a career catalyst of some kind. This is a new moon that could act as a launch pad for future success or future projects. It's a time when the seeds that are planted in your professional life can start to sprout or start to take root, potentially setting you in a new trajectory or enhancing your public image in some way. Also, a visibility boost is happening with your new moon here. Expect to be seen more. Expect an increase in visibility. Whether you're stepping into the spotlight for some sort of project at work or your expertise is finally being recognized, this is a lunation that highlights your professional contributions, and it could bring about a significant boost in your reputation. Reputation. This brings me to the point about reputation. With the influence of Saturn and Neptune here, you might find yourself pondering over your professional identity and how you're perceived in your field. Together, Saturn and Neptune create some sort of this dynamic where you're encouraged to ground your career aspirations in reality while also being open to more inspired, idealistic versions of your professional life that could be embodied. This is an interplay that could really lead to some sort of profound reassessment of how you want to be seen and understood in your career, and it blends practicality with a touch of dreaminess to help redefine your professional identity. It also brings up innovative strategies. So like because of Uranus, there is this innovative edge to any career planning or action that's going on right now. You might be inspired to adopt a new unconventional approach to achieving a goal, or technology could play a key role in your advancements professionally also. There are authority dynamics that are coming up with this new moon too. Interactions with authority figures or your own role as a leader could be highlighted with this new moon. It's a time to navigate these dynamics kind of carefully. You want to use the clarity and directness of Mercury and Aries to assert your ideas without clashing with established protocols too much, right? There could be a goal reassessment in general with this new moon, especially because Jupiter is the ruling planet, and this encourages a more broadened perspective of your career and your life direction in general. So you might be inspired to set new ambitious goals that are more aligned with your values and your personal growth that is happening. Strategic communication is possible with this new moon because of the Mercury-Pluto sextile. This really sharpens your thinking, especially in professional conversations. This is a really good time to negotiate or present your ideas or advocate for yourself with a focus on transformative results. And unexpected opportunities are also something to expect with this new moon. Be prepared for sudden shifts or sudden opportunities that could pop up out of nowhere, which potentially could alter your career path in exciting ways. And flexibility and openness will be your allies with this. And that's not too hard for you as a Gemini rising. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts, since I was already getting into that. The do's I do recommend updating your resume, updating your LinkedIn, updating your social media profiles. Giving your online presence a little refresh can really pay off, not just for job stuff, but how you present yourself to the world in all kinds of roles. And I also recommend you spend time with a mentor, business or personal. Catching up with someone who has been there, done that, can give you some real golden insights during this new moon, whether you're talking shop or just life in general. And I also recommend you do a manifestation ritual. So I always like to light a candle with the intention of manifesting something related to where the moon is, which is your 10th house. So set aside some time, to light that candle. And the 10th house is super nice because you can use it to manifest job-related things, reputation-related things, or just overall life things because it's your 10th house. So it's an exciting one. The don'ts I have for this new moon: I recommend not overworking yourself. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Keeping a good balance means you're not going to burn out when things start getting interesting. So keep that in mind. It'll be pretty busy, most likely, since it's in your 10th house, lots to do. And I also recommend not ignoring opportunities. Sometimes opportunities come knocking in the most unexpected ways, and keeping an open mind means that you're not going to miss out on something that might be right for you. So keep an open mind, don't ignore opportunities, and I also recommend not procrastinating, starting something new. It's easy to put things off, but why wait in this situation? This is the perfect time to get something going, get the ball rolling, especially because it can lead to some exciting places. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Cancer rising, this new moon in Pisces on March 10th is happening in your 9th whole sign house, and this is giving you the green light to broaden your horizons. So think exciting travel plans, getting hooked on a new area of study, maybe exploring some spiritual stuff. It's all about big ideas and grand adventures and storytelling. So let's talk about specifics. What can you specifically expect with a new moon here? Mind expansion, expanding your mind. This is a lunation that invites a broadening of your horizons. It encourages deep dives into subjects that fascinate you, whether that's through formal education or self-study or just watching a bunch of documentaries or exploratory conversations that challenge and expand your worldview. All of this is highlighted. Also, the new moon prompts a reevaluation of beliefs and philosophies. So, especially because of Neptune and Saturn being here, you might find yourself questioning or refining your spiritual philosophical outlook. Maybe you seek a deeper truth, a deeper understanding, or you're getting into a certain type of philosophy or just learning about that. Also, travel urges can come up here, especially with Uranus's sextile and the square to Mars. There could be a strong desire for physical or metaphorical or metaphysical journeys, whether it's planning some sort of trip or embarking on an intellectual voyage, maybe through conversation or a book or storytelling. We're going on a journey, taking mushrooms, any type of journey or traveling is highlighted here. And spiritual insights, again, maybe the veil will be a little bit thinner. You might be seeing things out of the corner of your eye a little bit more. Your intuition might be on point during this week. So be aware that your sensitivity and your spiritual awareness will be louder. And there are legal matters and ethical matters that could come up if you're involved in legalese. Issues related to such could come up, or higher education as well. So there could be some sort of turning point, beginning, reset, some sort of significant moment regarding ethics or law. And again, storytelling, sharing. This is an excellent time for storytelling, writing, speaking, teaching. Your ability to convey complex ideas is highlighted. You'll be able to do it in a more engaging way, making it a really fruitful time for authors, educators, or content creators. And the new moon also offers a time to explore different cultures as well as different philosophies, like I was talking about earlier. It's a really good time to immerse yourself in experiences that give you a taste of diversity, enhancing your understanding and appreciation with the entire world's tapestry. And dream work and occult interests are also highlighted with this new moon, with the mystical energy of it all. There are louder dreams or more interest in tarot, astrology. The ninth house traditionally rules astrology and tarot and all the occult type of things. And hidden knowledge may become more pronounced too. It's a really good time to dive into all of these types of things. So you're right on time, astrologer good, listening to this video. The do's and don'ts I have for this new moon. Let's start with the do's. I do recommend being involved in some sort of teaching or learning situation. Host or join a workshop on a topic that you're passionate about, whether it's personal development or a new skill or a hobby or just for funsies. Some sort of teaching and learning is highlighted and encouraged. I also recommend going to a museum or something like that. Something that showcases art or history or cultures that can, again, open your mind. And I do recommend doing some sort of new moon manifestation ritual. Focus on specifically what you want to manifest regarding ninth house matters and light a candle with the intention to manifest that. The don'ts. I don't recommend holding on too tightly. Don't be afraid to change your mind, essentially. There might be new things coming at you that force you to change your mind, and don't be afraid of that. Be open to new information that can shift your perspective. And I recommend not passing up on a good debate. This is debate weather. If you got a chance to dive into some sort of friendly debate conversation or a deep dive discussion, go for it. This is how we stretch our brains. And I also recommend not just collecting stuff. What do I mean by that? Remember that it's experiences, not things, that really expand your horizons. So maybe prioritize that trip or workshop over the latest gadget. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free ninth house Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Leo rising, this new moon in Pisces on March 10th is happening in your 8th whole sign house, and this signifies a time of new beginnings or a reset related to deep transformation, managing shared resources, or addressing inner emotional and psychological issues or baggage. So the 8th house can be a little bit scary to mainstream astrologers, but the 8th house is a very special, magical area as well. So let's talk about what to expect here. A financial reset is possible with this new moon. It could mark a turning point for financial matters tied to debts, loans, or resources that you share with a partner or share with a bank. It's a really good new moon for new beginnings and how you manage these sort of things, and it could really help you find innovative solutions to approach your financial health. It also could bring up an emotional deep dive of some kind, since the 8th house energy encourages, profound introspection and an exploration of deeper emotions, things that are usually swept under the rug and not talked about, maybe past traumas or, again, baggage. A light might shine on some of these issues, and it offers a chance for healing and for transformation and for nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself the way that you would take care of a child when their big fifis come up. Feelings. You have to feel it in order to release it. Otherwise, it'll just stay there in your body and wreak havoc in the long term. So we want to let these feelings come out, whatever they are. And you might notice some sort of rebirth in partnerships. So, relationships, especially those involving shared resources or shared support, might undergo some sort of reset or transformation or new beginning. This could manifest as a renewal of commitments or a new understanding of each other's contributions and needs and boundaries and that sort of thing. There's also a possibility for therapeutic breakthroughs if you're, going to therapy, or if you're in deep self-reflection mode. This is a new moon that can bring breakthrough moments, helping shed light on previously hidden aspects of your brain, and it brings profound healing. So again, the breakthroughs, sometimes, I'm sorry to bring the bearer of bad news, but sometimes you got to break down to break through, and you might already have been feeling that over the past week or two. This might not be new vibes. You might have been feeling this. And this new moon is kind of that moment where the turning point happens and you're ready to start moving forward and up again. So allow for the breakthroughs this week. Allow for the breakdowns and all the feelings to come up. This is an 8th house, very healing new moon for y'all. So let the process happen and know that after this new moon, there is a new beginning in all of these areas that will help you in the long run. And the foundation will be a lot stronger. This is a new moon that could also bring in innovative investment strategies. Especially with Uranus's influence, there are possibilities for new ways of investing in things or dealing with financial obligations that could lead to solutions or benefits. So innovative strategies regarding money and investments are possible with this new moon. And your interactions with authority figures, especially related to finances and taxes or inheritance, could become a bit more prominent if this is relevant for you in your life. And again, we have an expanding vision financially. Jupiter is the ruling planet of this new moon, and it suggests a time to think big regarding financial planning and investments, especially those involving joint finances or joint resources in partnerships. It's a really good opportunity to set ambitious goals for financial growth and security. Jupiter's on your side here. And then, of course, I have to bring up, because of Uranus's square and the sextile, we have to be expecting the unexpected, especially regarding those 8th house things. So finances, be open to financial shifts, sudden changes, revelations related to investments, debts, finances. These are surprises that could lead you to new opportunities. So the do's and don'ts. Let's talk about the do's and don'ts. I do recommend you watch an emotional movie for this new moon. Pop some popcorn, dive into some movie that tugs at your heartstrings and makes you cry or makes you feel things. It's a safe way to explore those deep feelings that the new moon might be stirring up without having to fully engage in trauma or baggage. So consider that, you can release some of your feelings without having to really face things head on. I say that as a person who is an 8th houser. I also recommend you go to therapy, or you have a heart-to-heart to actually get to the meat of the problem. Whether it's a session with a counselor or a therapist, or just a deep conversation with someone you trust, or a deep conversation with ChatGPT. We are in Pluto and Aquarius era. It's a really good new moon to unpack heavier emotions if you feel safe to do so. I also recommend you do some sort of investment or financial planning. Take a moment to review or just check up on your finances and your budget, or if you can, chat with a financial advisor of some kind, but that's a luxury. So it's just about making your money work for you in the long run, and this is a new moon that can help you get there. I also recommend you do some sort of new moon manifestation ritual. As I always say, I like to light a candle with the intention to manifest something related to the house that the new moon is in. For you, that's the 8th house. So you can manifest something related to your shared resources, personal transformations, healing, those things. The don'ts. I do not recommend partying too hard this week or weekend. The 8th house can go super overboard when it comes to partying and doing more and more and more, and hard to recover from. So I don't recommend partying too hard this week. I also recommend you stop avoiding that one thing that you've been avoiding, that one thing you've been putting off. Now's the time to face it head on. This is the trigger moment. So just know you're going to feel so much lighter after you deal with the thing that you've been avoiding. And this new moon will help you move through it also. The last don't, of course, do not stuff down your big feelings. Don't try to ignore whatever comes up this week. This is a time where if you do that, it's like putting a lid on a boiling pot. Better let things out in a healthy way than to let them simmer unchecked. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Hello, Virgo rising. This new moon on March 10th in Pisces is happening in your 7th whole sign house. So this is an angular new moon for y'all. So that means it's significant. And it typically, when you have a new moon here, it signifies a reset or some sort of new beginning, new development, or turning point in your one-on-one interactions and relationships, whether that's a romantic partner, a best friend, or even clients or business partnerships could come up with this. So let's talk more specifically. What can you expect here? Some sort of relationship refresh is possible. This is a new moon that offers a clean slate for your one-on-one relationships, whether it's romantic partnerships, close friendships, or key, business alliances. This is an opportunity to renew bonds or start new connections that resonate deeply with your current path. So meeting somebody new is possible here. Also, the influence from Uranus here suggests that whatever interactions that you have could become a breeding ground for innovative ideas. Conversations with partners or with close friends or any colleagues or allies might spark unexpected insights or lead to some sort of collaborative venture that breaks new grounds, is innovative, is pioneering. Also, with Saturn and Neptune's presence here, there is a deepening of connections. There's a push-pull between solidifying commitments or exploring emotional or spiritual depths within relationships. It asks you to recheck your boundaries here. Saturn's all about boundaries and Neptune is boundaryless. So we need to figure out the right balance there with boundaries in relationships. We don't want to be codependent or hyper independent. So there's also direct dialogue that could come up here, direct conversations, direct interactions, thanks to Mercury in Aries. So there could be clear and honest exchanges happening in your relationships. It helps cut through misunderstandings and gets to the heart of matters quickly, sometimes hurting your feelings in the process, but it's worth it in the long run, usually. And the Mercury-Pluto sextile brings in a strategic element to your interactions. So it's a really good time to tackle complex issues within relationships or negotiate agreements or work together on plans that require deep understanding and some sort of transformative approach. And be open to new introductions or unexpected developments in existing relationships. There's surprise connections. Expect the unexpected in relationships here. These are surprises that are very dynamic and they encourage flexibility and adaptability in how you relate to others. So you are a Virgo rising, you will be very flexible and adaptable. It's one of your skills, but know that new people in and out of your life, new and changing one-on-one interactions are possible with this new moon. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts I have. I do recommend you make an agreement, whether it's a handshake deal or, something more formal than that. This is a good time to nail down any agreements that you need to make, especially ones that need to be equal and fair and making sure that everybody is on the same page. It's a good moon for making agreements. This is also a good time to be social, meet new people, go on a date. Throw yourself into social situations and say yes to that person. This is a really good time for connecting with others and sparking something new if you're interested in that. I also recommend doing a new moon manifestation ritual. I recommend lighting a candle with the intention to manifest, an ideal situation regarding your 7th house. So if you want to manifest a partner, if you want to manifest a business partner, a bestie, etc., this is a good moon for that. The don'ts. I recommend you don't hermit yourself too much, which I know Virgos like to do that at times. Solo time is great. I love being alone as well, but don't let it keep you from encounters that could lead to meaningful connections. This is a good balance is key, but this is a good moon for being social, so don't hide from that. I also recommend not being too stubborn. Don't hold too tightly on your way of doing things this week. It might be hard to be that stubborn because of the way that the weather is this week. Expect the unexpected, yada, yada, yada. It's okay to bend a little bit, It's okay to bend a little bit. It's okay to let the reins go. So keep that in mind. And also, I'm going to remind you this. Do not people please this week. It's going to be easier to be codependent and to be falling into your people-pleasing ways this week because the moon is in the 7th house. So all the focus is on the other person and not much on yourself. So you don't want to be trying to make everyone else happy at the expense of your own needs and your own truth. It's not going to do you any favors. So make sure you're staying true to yourself, even in your relationships. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Libra rising, this new moon in Pisces on March 10th is happening in your 6th whole sign house, and this typically signals a time of new beginnings or resets with your daily routines, your work environment, your health habits, your pet's life, and relationships with coworkers or with people that you regularly interact with in service-oriented contexts like a gardener or a house cleaner. So let's talk about more specific what you can expect with this new moon. A new moon like this will bring a fresh perspective on your daily routines or your daily habits or a daily habit. It's a really good new moon to introduce a new practice that enhances your routine in some way or your productivity and also your well-being. And it's also very innovative time with Uranus here. So it could incorporate some sort of innovative or technological aspect to your routine or habits. So it's a good time to quit smoking or to start a workout routine or something like that. Or whatever you do in your routine, like your daily day-to-day routine. You wake up, you have your lemon water, you do your stretches, you go on your walk, and then you start work. Whatever you do on your routine, there could be some sort of fresh perspective there. Also, workplace dynamics are highlighted. Coworkers are highlighted. So you can expect shifts in your work environment or with your coworkers. With this new moon combined with Mercury and Aries, there could be straightforward conversations happening at work that clear the air or initiate new projects, some sort of significant thing going on at work or with coworkers. Also, like I said, health consciousness is possible here. There's a focus on health and wellness. It encourages you to pay attention to your body's needs and adopt any type of self-care that you need to. And your role if you have a role in service-oriented jobs or tasks or some sort of support to another person, whether it's work or your personal life, that could come into spotlight. It's a time to assess how you contribute while also maintaining your boundaries. That's really important for 6th house stuff, especially with Saturn here. The 6th house is interesting because it's a vibe of always pulling you down while you're trying to reach up. So it's like always putting out fires, always having to deal with something that is pulling you down. And and this is a service-oriented context, is like working for somebody, being somebody's assistant, listening to whatever they tell you to do type of vibes. So that's why service-oriented contexts are highlighted here. This is also a good time to hire somebody service-oriented. If you're looking for a plumber, if you're looking for a handyman, this is a good time for that. And pets was the other thing. So for those of you with pets or considering adopting a pet, this is a new moon that could highlight the joy or the responsibilities of pet care. So it's a good time to reassess their routine or their health needs, or deepen your bond with them in some way, give them a present. But yeah, dealing with daily challenges is kind of a thing with the 6th house. So what's nice is the sextile with Mercury and Pluto will empower you to tackle those never-ending to-do lists with a more strategic and efficient approach. You'll find yourself a lot more adept at putting out fires and managing the small, critical details of your daily life. It'll be a lot smoother, but they're still there. Lifestyle adjustments, I guess I mentioned that earlier with health habits or just routines. But yeah, unexpected shifts are possible too. The influence of Uranus brings in progression and technology and an unconventional energy to what you're doing, but it also brings unexpected disruptions to the routine as well. So expect the unexpected, be flexible. There could be some sort of unforeseen changes in your service roles or with service contexts or in your daily routine in general. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts. I do recommend starting a new routine. Like I said earlier, maybe it's starting a new morning walk or setting some specific work hours so you're not doing too much. A fresh routine really can be curated here. Also, I recommend special attention to your pets, whether it's an extra walk or some sort of quality playtime. Show your furry friends a little bit of love. I also recommend cleaning something if you have the cleaning bug. Tackling that one spot that you've been ignoring, like your junk drawer or your email inbox, could make the world of a difference, and the new moon supports you in that. I also recommend scheduling an appointment with a doctor or dentist, or scheduling an appointment with somebody in service-oriented contexts like a plumber, cleaner, gardener, etc. If you need to hire somebody or get a service done, get your car oil changed, whatever. This is a good time to make that appointment. I'm not saying you need to do it. I'm saying you should make the appointment if you need to, because it's astrologer good time to do so. I also recommend doing some sort of new moon manifestation ritual. I always light a candle with the intention to manifest something related to the house that the moon is in. So if it's in the 6th house, you can light a candle with the intention to manifest something that helps you achieve your day-to-day goals, your health goals. I could, fix your routine up to be the most efficient for you. You can manifest a new pet if you want a new kitty, or just a more balanced schedule is possible too. So the don'ts for the new moon. I recommend that you do not this week expect things to go your way without hard work. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the magic of the new moon is not going to replace the elbow grease needed to get things done when it's in the 6th house of the daily grind. What's nice is it's astrologer good, so doing the hard work, you will be rewarded, you will be worked with, but don't expect to just magically work out without putting in hard work or effort. I also recommend not neglecting your well-being for being productive. It's really easy to get caught up in ticking off the to-do lists. It can be kind of addicting, but don't let your health or your peace of mind take a back seat, because we're on Earth I don't know why we're on Earth, but I do know that while we're on Earth, I would like to enjoy the time. So you want to have good balance so that you can make the best of it. I also recommend not overlooking, the power of a break. Is kind of along the same lines, but do not skip the moments of rest, because if you skip rest, it could lead to burnout. And remember that even a short walk or just even a 5-minute meditation can recharge your batteries. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Scorpio rising, this new moon on March 10th in Pisces is happening in your 5th whole sign house, which typically signifies fresh starts or renewed energy in things like your creative projects, your romantic endeavors, your games, the things that you do for fun, and interactions with children. And it highlights a time of fun, self-expression, and enjoyment. It's one of the best houses to have anything in because it is the house of good fortune. So what are some things you can expect with this new moon? A creative surge is possible here. It brings a wave of creative, fresh energy to your projects. It's a really good time for starting projects or reinvigorating existing projects or coming up with new ways of doing things that you love. Joyful experiments. Thanks to Uranus' sextile, this encourages you to explore new forms of entertainment, new forms of recreation. You might find yourself drawn to unusual, unconventional, non-traditional hobbies or fun activities that break you from your regular routine, and it adds an exciting twist to the leisure time that you get to have. Also, you can expect romantic sparks. The 5th house is connected to romance, so this means that the new moon could bring unexpected opportunities in your dating and love life. So whether you're single, or in a relationship, this is a vibe that is ripe for spontaneous romantic gestures or meeting someone who captivates your interest in surprising ways. Also, playful communication is happening with this new moon. You can expect conversations to be lively, filled with wit, communication in love and with children, if applicable, or with your inner child will be especially vibrant. It fosters a really fun and open exchange of ideas. And you could be revisiting old passions. Saturn and Neptune are also here in Pisces, and this could prompt a reflective look at what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. It's really a good time to reconnect with your passions and reconsider how they align with your deeper sense of purpose. And there is a spotlight on your talents with a new moon here, particularly in artistic and creative fields. It's a very auspicious time to showcase any work you do, and has the potential to be received very positively and even gain some recognition. The other thing is, this is a new moon ruled by Jupiter in Taurus, so personal growth through pleasure is something that I want you all to think about as Scorpio risings, as those ruled by Mars. Jupiter's influence here suggests that your routes to pleasure and fun could also become significant growth areas. I mean that you might be discovering new aspects of yourself through playful exploration and creative expression, which is kind of foreign for us as Scorpio risings. Scorpio risings feel like we need to go through something hard to get the reward. But we're going to learn that we don't have to do that. We can, discover new things. It doesn't have to be hard. Learning about ourselves doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. And lastly, dynamics with children, if you have children, or your inner child, the inner child that we all take care of. Expect the unexpected and be ready to adapt to new ways of having fun together or engaging with children or your inner child. Dynamic changes or developments in your relationship with children or your inner child is possible. And it makes sense if you're engaging in playful exploration, you are directly engaging with your inner child. So let's deepen our connection with our inner child and deepen our connection to joy. And this brings us to the do's and don'ts. I do recommend you play games, you play sports, whether it's a board game night or hitting some sort of basketball court or, getting active and competitive in Helldivers. Some sort of game and play is a really good way to channel the new moon energy. I also recommend being social, meeting new people, going on a date. Throw yourself into the social sphere. This is a really good energy for making connections that could spark joy, could spark romance. Also, create something creative, art, vision boards, magazine clippings, make collages, use Pinterest, get your art supplies out, dust them off. Create something that reflects your dreams and desires. It's a really fun way to visualize what you want to bring into your life too. And I, of course, recommend doing a new moon manifestation ritual. I recommend lighting a candle with the intention to manifest something related to your 5th house. So that could be manifesting more joy in your life, a deeper connection to your inner child or children, a deeper connection to your artistic expression, your projects, manifesting a creative project you've been thinking about for a while, all of that good stuff. The don'ts. I recommend that you don't try to be super productive. This new moon's vibe is more about enjoying life than ticking off to-do lists. So allow yourself some time to just play and create without much of an agenda. I also recommend that you do not ignore party invites that are coming to you. Even if you're feeling a bit like a homebody, consider saying yes to social outings of some kind. You never know what fun opportunities and connections might arise if you say yes to these things. I also recommend you do not miss your self-care appointment this week, whether it's a spa day for yourself, a workout session, quiet time with a book, whatever you do to take care of yourself, keep that appointment with yourself. It's all about nurturing your inner joy and your inner creativity this week. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Hey, Sag Rising. So this new moon on March 10th in Pisces is happening in your 4th whole sign house, which typically signifies a period of new beginnings or shifts in your private life, like changes in your home environment, your family dynamics, or a deeper connection to your roots and your personal private foundation. But let's talk more specific about what you can expect from this new moon. You can expect some sort of home base evolution happening. This is a new moon that could signal a fresh start or a new chapter related to your living situation, whether it is moving, whether it is redecorating, or simply changing up your domestic routine in some way. This is energy that is ripe for making your space more aligned and more connected to your current needs and your future goals. This is also a new moon that family dynamics come into focus. This is a time for meaningful conversations that strengthen bonds with family members or address past issues and allows for deeper connections moving forward. Also, ancestral insights could be coming up. With Saturn and Neptune also being here, there might be moments of reflection on your lineage or talking to older people in your family tree. It's a really good time to explore your roots and understand how they shape who you are today. Reconnect, read grandma's old cookbook. A foundation shakeup is also possible because of Uranus here. Uranus is sextile and the square to Mars. The vibe suggests unexpected developments, possibly related to your home life or your family, but and this might challenge your sense of security on some level, but also is offering opportunities to grow and connect with a more authentic foundation with yourself. So allow yourself to expect the unexpected, roll with the punches if there is any disruptions coming up due to Uranus. You can also expect some sort of emotional realignment. This is a new moon that is asking you to check in with your emotional foundation. It's a chance to process and release old emotional baggage, and it makes space for new feelings and new experiences that better reflect who you are now. So we got to be sure that we're checking in here. And real estate opportunities or situations with your property, if you are lucky enough to own property, could come up. There could be some sort of significant turning point or moment happening with your property. Also, your private life is prioritized during this new moon. Your communication might become a little bit more introspective during this week, and maybe you're focusing more on your personal matters or your inner dialogue. It's a really good week to journal and meditate and engage in a practice that helps you connect with your inner self. And lastly, there's an energy of reinventing traditions also. This is thanks to Uranus also. might inspire you to create some sort of new family tradition or a new personal ritual that reflect your current state, your current values, and your current lifestyle. And it bridges the old in with the new in meaningful ways. And this brings us to the do's and don'ts, because that was kind of a do. I also recommend starting something new in your living space. So dive into that home project that you've been thinking about, whether it's clearing out your clutter, shuffling your setup, moving things around, picking up new decor, or making your space more you. Something to do there. I also recommend spending time with family. If you like your family, only if you like your family, whether it's a quiet dinner at home or, a heart-to-heart chat on the phone with somebody you haven't talked to in a while, quality time with your loved ones is highlighted. I also recommend spending time alone. Use this new moon as an excuse to enjoy your solo time, rest, meditate, reflect, bask in the peace of your own company, and see what sort of insights and inspiration start to flow through. And I also recommend doing a new moon manifestation ritual. I always recommend lighting a candle to manifest something related to the house that the moon is in your chart, and this time it's the 4th house. So this is a good time to manifest something related to your ideal home, manifesting your ideal home situation, your ideal home renovation, your ideal family dynamics, manifesting a healthier family situation. Family and home, manifesting your ideal situations with those. As for don'ts, I don't recommend for this week that you overbook yourself too much. This is a new moon vibe that is all about being at home, both literally and metaphorically. So keep your plans flexible and allow for some downtime if possible. I also recommend not bringing work to your sanctuary, to home. Try to keep work separate from your personal space this week. It's about nurturing your home as a place of rest and rejuvenation, not as a place of capitalism worship. I'm laughing. Okay, that was tongue in cheek. And also along the same lines, do not neglect your comfort this week. Don't skimp on making your space comfortable, making your space soothing, whether it's fixing that annoying leak or splurging on a plush new throw or a new squishmallow. Your comfort should be a priority this week. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Hello, Capricorn rising. This new moon on March 10th is happening in Pisces in your 3rd whole sign house, which is a time for new beginnings or fresh perspectives with your communication, with your mind, a lot of the way that you've been thinking about something, the way that you're communicating something, and also your relationships with the people in your immediate environment. That means your siblings, your best friends, your roommates, your cousins, etc. And it also brings new beginnings with learning or teaching, and also shifts your immediate environment or the way that you are thinking about things overall, like I said earlier. So let's talk about specifics, though, of what you can expect with this new moon. First of all, communication breakthroughs are possible. This is a new moon that could open up new channels of communication, making it a really good time for heart-to-heart conversations, or especially with friends, siblings, or close colleagues. And you might find yourself expressing your ideas more freely, more innovatively. And this is just a good time for figuring out, I guess I should say, problem solving. You can also expect yourself to go on some local adventures. Like your immediate surroundings could become a source of inspiration or unexpected opportunities. Whether you are exploring new spots in your neighborhood or engaging a little bit more deeply with your local community, there's a sense of discovery close to home for this new moon. Also, like I said, learning leaps are possible here. The 3rd house is connected to education. So this is a lunation that could spark the desire to learn something new or dive deeper into a subject that you really like or that fascinates you. And there's a sextile to Uranus, and this suggests that technology or innovation or unconventional, non-traditional vibes are particularly appealing as well. You can also expect your daily rituals to get reimagined in some way. Saturn and Neptune's presence here might be asking you to reconsider your everyday routines and your everyday rituals. And it asks you to find a balance between your strict structure and your intuition. It's a really good time to introduce new habits that support both your productivity and also your mental well-being. Technology is also a big thing for this new moon, given the third house's association with technology. So you could be upgrading your gadgets, experimenting with new apps, finding innovative tech solutions to everyday problems, and really transforming your daily efficiency. Your perspective shifts could be happening as well. You could be thinking about things a little bit differently than you have in the past, which we always are. We're always evolving, ideally, we're always evolving our perspectives. And Jupiter is the ruler of this new moon, and this encourages expansive thinking. You might find that you're reevaluating your viewpoints or reevaluating your approaches to problem solving. It's a time for mental growth and adopting a more optimistic outlook on the challenges that you're facing. And writing and articulating is highlighted with this new moon, especially with the Mercury-Pluto aspect. You will have a sharpened ability to articulate complex ideas, making it a really good lunation for writing, public speaking, any form of communication that requires depth and precision, and problem solving. As well, okay, lastly, the other thing to expect, mobility and movement. The third house, is related to commuting and transportation and cars. So these issues might come to the forefront, and maybe you need to reconsider how you navigate around your local environment. This could mean taking a new public transportation route, or upgrading your car, or using a new method with your car of some kind. But transportation is highlighted as well. So some do's and don'ts I have for this new moon. I do recommend going on a local adventure. Take a stroll, take a bike ride in a part of your neighborhood that maybe you're not familiar with or that you don't go around that much. You might discover a new favorite spot right around the corner. And I also recommend doing some sort of online correspondence or maybe social media, reaching out to friends, sharing your thoughts online. This is a good time to exchange ideas and connect. And again, transportation upgrades. I do recommend, if your bike's been squeaking or your car needs a tune-up, this is a really good time, a good moon to get that sorted. Smooth rides ahead. I also recommend spending time with community in general, whether it's a block party, a book club, a casual meetup with neighbors. Immerse yourself in the local vibe. And I also recommend doing some sort of journaling or writing exercise, or if you really refuse to do such a thing, maybe read something, maybe read a book. Jot down your thoughts, dive into a good book. It's food for the mind and soul. And I do recommend doing a new moon manifestation ritual, lighting a candle with the intention to manifest something related to the third house. So for you, that could be manifesting a new car. It could be manifesting a new routine to work. It could be manifesting a new phone, some sort of new gadget, or manifesting a better connection with your siblings or with your community, with your roommates, that sort of thing. Manifesting something that you want to learn or teach, or manifesting a perspective change, are all big third house things. So consider what you want to manifest, light a candle with the intention to manifest that. The don'ts. I don't recommend you hermit yourself during this new moon. Even if you're tempted to stay inside your bubble, this is a new moon that is all about engaging with the world around you. So do the transit before the transit does you, okay? Don't force it. Don't force the universe to push you out into the world around you. Just engage with it, by yourself. Not by yourself, but engage with it on your own volition. And I also recommend not holding in your thoughts for this new moon. Do not hold it in. If you hold it in usually, which you do because you're Capricorn rising, Do not hold it in this week, or at least for this new moon. If you have something to say, find a constructive way to say it. Bottling it up is not the way to go for this new moon. I also recommend, or don't recommend, I should say, skipping school, cutting class, or skipping out on any learning opportunities that could be coming up. Every chance to learn something new is a chance to grow, which we love to do. So don't pass it up, even if it's just a casual workshop or an online course. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Aquarius rising, this new moon on March 10th in Pisces is happening in your second whole sign house, which typically signifies a time of new beginnings or opportunities related to your finances, your material resources, your personal values, and it often prompts a reevaluation or a fresh approach to how you manage and view these aspects of your life. But let's talk about more specifically what you can expect from this new moon. You can expect some sort of renewed financial perspective. This is a new moon that might shift how you view your finances, and it could encourage a fresh outlook on your income and on your resources. You can also expect to see new, perhaps unconventional opportunities or ideas that could influence your financial strategies and the way that you value your possessions. You might also be experiencing revelations regarding your self-worth, particularly how it's intertwined with your material assets and your financial assets. You could also expect an expanding financial horizon. The broader perspective offered by the new moon's ruler, Jupiter in Taurus, could lead to a heightened awareness or potential growth within your financial landscape. This is a good time. I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is a good time to buy a lotto ticket. And this is also, you can expect for this new moon, intense financial discussions or financial thoughts. Thanks to the Mercury-Pluto sextile, financial matters at the forefront of your mind could bring up transformative considerations to your resources and how you can move forward and how that changed you. But yeah, surprising financial developments are possible thanks to Uranus's influence in the weather this week. Expect unexpected financial situation happenings. This could mean a bill pops up. This could mean a windfall pops up. Something might catch you off guard regarding your finances, or maybe not even regarding your finances, but regarding something that is connected to your finances somehow. But yeah, this is a moon that asks you to reassess your material values. This is a new moon that highlights what possessions truly matter to you, and it leads to a natural reassessment of your physical belongings and their significance. So you could be wanting to throw things away. You could be wanting to make a purchase. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me talk about the do's and don'ts. For this new moon, I do recommend financial planning or investment planning. Take a moment to review your budget, consider investment options. It's a really good new moon to think about how your money can work for you, and the universe will back you up on that. This is also a good time to purchase something or plan to purchase something. If there has been something on your mind that you need or that you truly value, this is a really good time to start planning for it or to go for it. This is also a good day for grocery shopping. The second house rules food. Food is one of your resources. So stocking up on essentials, buying ingredients for a special meal can be particularly satisfying under this new moon. Also, I do recommend doing mirror affirmations. I know an Aquarius loves this. Stand in front of the mirror and affirm your worth, affirm your financial goals, and your ability to achieve these financial goals. Also, it's a really powerful way to boost your self-esteem and align with prosperity. As a Scorpio rising, I recognize that that's cheesy, but it works. It really does something to your brain. You got to trick your brain into things. I also recommend doing a new moon manifestation ritual. Focus on setting your intentions around abundance, security, material comforts. Light a candle with this intention. And I recommend not. The things I don't recommend doing. Do not ignore the price. While it is a good time for purchases, make sure that they are within your budget. Avoid impulse buying that could cause buyer's remorse. That's why I was saying it's a good time to consider buying something or buy something that you've been considering buying for a long time, not just buying things on a whim. Also, do not ignore your mental health during this new moon. Financial health is important. It's very tied to our mental health, but don't let it overshadow your overall well-being. Balance is key. Don't get too obsessive about it. I also recommend not overlooking small savings. Small savings can add up. Whether it's cutting back on Netflix, canceling your Netflix subscription and starting to pirate on Plex, or making coffee at home with your Keurig instead of buying Starbs, which you shouldn't be buying anyway because we're boycotting them. Little adjustments. I know I sound like a boomer writing an article about millennials, but just think about putting some, you know what I like to do? I like to get all the change, like the coins that I get from using cash, and put it in a big bucket. And eventually that bucket fills up and I go to a Coinstar and they take a big percentage of it, but I get some sort of gift card for Amazon and, that kind of thing, that kind of small savings. It could be fun to start a piggy bank. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time. Hello, Pisces. This new moon on March 10th is happening in your first whole sign house, which signifies a period of personal rebirth and new beginnings, pretty significant new beginnings. And it offers opportunities for reshaping your identity, maybe on a small scale, maybe on a large scale, maybe changing your appearance, or starting fresh with how you present yourself to the world and also how you approach your personal health specifically. So let's talk about examples of what you can expect more specifically with this new moon. So first of all, an identity refresh is possible with this new moon. This is a time that could initiate a self-renewal of some kind, maybe subtly shifting how you perceive yourself or how others see you. This is a time of innovative self-expression. It might mark a unique, you might want to express yourself in unique ways, express your individuality. It influences your appearance or maybe just your personal vibe in unexpected ways. You can expect deep reflections on the self. There's an interplay between Saturn and Neptune in your first house. And in this context, it might lead to profound introspection, especially about your identity and the roles that you're playing in life. And you can also expect some sort of enhanced personal growth with this new moon. This is a time that leads to a greater sense of confidence in your path, and it brings about powerful personal insights. Your thoughts and your communications can turn inward and uncover deep truths about your identity. And you can expect just significant benchmark moments in what you are going through in your life right now. Unexpected shifts could be coming up, especially with your appearance, especially with your health, thanks to Uranus's influence. Maybe you all of a sudden want to do a random makeover for yourself, cut your hair, buy new clothes, or just some sort of swift change in your routine or in your health. And overall, this is a new moon that is just an important benchmark moment in understanding yourself and where you're at in life right now. So let's talk about the do's and don'ts. This is a very powerful new moon as it is angular in your first house. And so there's a lot you can be doing with this. I do recommend changing your appearance, whether it's a fresh haircut, experimenting with a new makeup look, refreshing your wardrobe. It's a really good moon to express your evolving self-image. Also, I do recommend putting yourself out there. Speak your mind. Be authentically you during this week. This is a new moon that encourages you to stand tall in your truth, share your thoughts, share your ideas, let the world see who you are. And I do recommend doing some sort of new moon manifestation ritual. This is a powerful one for y'all. You can manifest anything you want with it. Focus on your desires and your goals. Visualize the you that you want to become and set intentions to grow into that version of yourself, and light a candle with this intention. That's my kind of ritual. The don'ts. I don't recommend that you hide from the limelight this week. This is your time to shine. So don't shy away from any opportunities that put you in the spotlight, okay? Embrace the attention and use the platform to showcase your uniqueness. I also recommend not procrastinating, starting something new. The energy of this new moon is all about fresh starts. It's all about new beginnings, especially when it comes to your personal projects, your personal goals and initiatives. If you've been waiting for a sign to start something, this is your sign. And lastly, do not neglect your well-being in pursuit of change. While it is very, very fun to embrace newness and transformation, also make sure that you're taking care of your physical health, your mental health. Balance is key to sustaining any of these changes that you make. So make sure that you're taking care of your body and mind first. And that's what I have for today, y'all. So how do you feel about the upcoming new moon? Drop a comment. It helps the algorithm. It helps me out. And also, I love reading your story times and your predictions. I'm a Gemini. I'm a reader. I love reading comments. And also, if you are interested in diving deeper, learning more about astrology and tarot, or if you just like chatting about these things and want to join a community with other people who like to talk about these things, you are welcome to join us in the free 9th House Discord server to keep the astro conversation flowing. So I hope to see you there, and good luck, friends. I'll catch you next time.